Let's go back to the phone lines. We'll talk next to Joe. Joe is listening in El Paso, Texas. Hi, Joe.
Hi, how you doing, Hank?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay, I have a question. It's a conspiracy that I'm seeing on the internet about Donald Trump and Obama. And according to Revelation 17:10, it says, "And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space." First, who are the 7 kings? And where it says, and the other is not yet come, and when he cometh, he must continue a short space. Is that talking about Donald Trump, who's going to be president for just a short time, and Obama's going to come back into power and wind up becoming the Antichrist?
Don't even know where to start with that one. But, I suppose, let me start this way by giving you sort of a historical overview. When you go to the Apocalypse, you have John describing the historical location of where it's going to take place as a domain of first century Rome. This is not a 10-nation confederacy in the 21st century. What we know is the 7 heads are 7 hills on which the woman sits. There are also 7 kings. You're right, the text tells us that 5 have fallen. One is, the other has not yet come, and when he does come, he must remain for a little while. So that is given to you in Revelation chapter 17. But if you're a student of history, you know that Rome is historically depicted as the city of 7 hills. Not only that, but the 7 kings are 7 Roman Caesars. The first 5 had fallen. And in the context of John's writing, Nero was presently on the throne, and Galba, the 7th king, had not yet come. But when he did, he only remained on the throne for 7 months, or as John put it, a little while. So here's the point. Internal evidence points to the fact that when John recorded the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show him what must soon take place, the 6th king ruled the imperial Roman Empire, and only when we grasp the reality that Revelation was addressed to 7 historical churches, that's exactly what you get in the introduction, that it is located, all of them are located in the epicenter of a Caesar worship cult, and this is written by John, who was exiled on Patmos during the Neronian persecution. Only when you get the historical perspective will you fully appreciate the Great Tribulation chronicled in his pages. Jesus pointed forward to it in the Olivet Discourse by pointing back to an Old Testament Antichrist, Antiochus IV Epiphanes. He said, "Now when you see, standing in the holy place, the abomination of desolation, spoken of by the prophet Daniel, let the reader understand." So he points back to Daniel, in other words, in order to point forward to what's going to happen under Nero Caesar. And the Great Tribulation that takes place when the center for the spiritual and sociological identity of the Jews is going to be completely destroyed. Again, the historical principle of biblical interpretation is so important to understanding Scripture. Now, Revelation is just like all the other books of the New Testament. I mean, all of them are speaking about what's going on in a first century epic. The principles apply to what's going on in a 21st century epic. And all books of the Bible also point us to eternal verity. So they're taking the things going on in their time-space continuum. There are principles and precepts that apply to us in the 21st century, but they're ultimately telling us, look up, your redemption draws near. And you certainly see that when you get to Revelation chapter 19, 20, 21, and 22.
Okay, so should I just ignore this conspiracy theory?
Absolutely. I mean, it's nonsense. First of all, it's a very bad reading of Scripture. Secondly, it's a pretty bad take on geopolitical realities on the ground.
Well, okay, Hank, thank you very much.
You got it. Thank you so much for your call.